We are back. Revinyl once again. He's Craig. I'm Shawn. We're ready to do some damage. We got a lot to
Sounds like
talk
you've been
about.
listening to the Schizophrenic Music Podcast. That's my thing.
Oh, is it? Oh,
We
there
we
you go.
still we
Maybe.
still I'm the only one that does it. Kevin doesn't do it. I'm like, "I'm Craig, he's Kevin. We're gonna talk some music."
Well, here, let
Um
me start over. I'm Shawn. He's Craig. Let's switch it up. There
No,
we
it's
go.
awesome. That's great. That means I'm
Yeah,
onto
that's
something
funny.
good. That means I'm onto
I,
something good if you've got
yeah, I guess I was listening to it the other day, so it probably seeped into my unconscious
it.
or subconscious. Would it be a sub or un? Wow, whatever.
I'm going
Well,
sub.
it maybe both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a minute, we're going to talk about some exciting new podcast that we're going to embark upon. But before we do that, let's talk about the beer fest because it's right around the corner, just a couple weeks away now.
Yeah, excited about it. So once again, it's WTCI, that's PBS locally here in Chattanooga, is hosting and sponsoring a Ale Trail Off the Track Beer Festival. This will be Saturday, September 27th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Choo Choo Gardens. There's going to be several breweries there. I've just discovered that Yellow Racket Records, my favorite record store here in town, will be there doing a pop up. That's gonna be awesome. So hopefully, myself and my cohort Kevin, I mentioned him earlier with Schizophrenic Music, we will be there. So hopefully, we will be next to Yellow Racket Records. But yeah, you got several of great breweries there, including but not limited to Hutton and Smith, Mean King, Odd Story, just some great companies out, some great businesses out. Come join us. It's a lot of fun. Great area. Looks to be a beautiful time of year. The weather's starting to cool off here. I don't know about for you, Shawn, there in Athens, but here in Chattanooga, it's kind of cooling off a little bit. So excited about it. Come see us. There's a link in the bio or the show notes of this podcast, or you can go to Eventbrite. And if you type in the coupon code REV for Revinyl, REV, you get $5 off your ticket. So come see us.
Sounds like a good time. Yeah, the weather is cooling off here. I was in Nantucket this weekend, and man, the weather was absolutely perfect. It got me really ready for the fall being there because if you think about it, they're a month or so ahead of us down south in
Oh,
terms of the
sure.
weather.
Yep.
It was so nice. You could walk all day and not break a sweat, which it's been a few months since we could say that in the south.
Oh, yeah. Becca
Probably
said the
since
same thing
we
about Cape Cod. She said it was beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, yeah, probably April since we've been able to say that. Okay, so one thing that you and I have been talking about, and I'm really excited about this, and I would say we're a couple weeks out from doing the first episode of this, but it will be a completely separate podcast. We're going to do it. The goal would be to do it every week because it's going to be, I think it's a combination of our love of music, our love of classic records,
Mhm.
our love of sport and games and contests, but also I look at this as even almost like a series because I love that. I'm watching Breaking Bad for the second time. I finally convinced my wife to watch it. I haven't seen it in 10 years and I've forgotten most of the stuff. You
Yeah.
remember the highlights, but you forget a lot of stuff. But watching it, I love how an episode ends and you can't wait for the next one because you want to see what's going to happen next. They leave you with the cliffhanger.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think this idea that we're going to talk about combines all those things. And we're going to talk about it a little bit without even fully having everything fleshed out. But the idea is to take sort of in a March Madness style bracket, take the 500 greatest albums of all time, probably use Rolling Stone, but really just pit one album against another and would take 16 at a time.
Mhm.
And you would take half, I would take half. So you would have four matchups for your eight. I would have four matchups for my eight. And we would go through those. We don't care what Rolling Stone ranked them. We might pick an album that's number 497 over an album that they had ranked number 22.
Right.
Those rankings don't matter to us. It's what we personally would select. So we're going to have some interesting choices to make along the way. So we do 16 at a time and we go 16 to 8 on one episode and then 8 to 4 on the next episode. set aside that as a final four, and then
Okay.
we go get 16 more. We do a random number generator, like you and I talked about.
Right.
So it's all there will be nothing scripted about this, nothing pre-planned. You and I will have no idea with the random number generator. It could end up being Rubber Soul versus Revolver, and you got to pick one,
Right.
and one moves forward and one doesn't. But I think it'll be really fun to go through that because it won't just be that we just pick the album and move on.
Yeah.
It'll give us an opportunity to really think about it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like fun. I love the fact that it's spontaneous. It's on the spot. I don't want to do anything preemptive. Sometimes that can
Yeah,
be a debacle, but I think with us, we've been doing
yeah.
this long enough and we have enough fun with it. We can do it live.
We have done well, almost everything that we've done on the Revinyl podcast has been
Yep.
spontaneous.
Yep.
The only thing we ever say is, "Hey, okay, this week, hey, when we hit record, let's talk about this topic, or we're going to do a top 10, or we're going to do uncut or whatever." But that's it. We have no idea where it's going to take us.
Yep.
We end up talking about 50 different bands in one episode, which I love, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback about that. So we're going to go through that, probably be ready to launch it in a couple of weeks. And when we do, I think even with the first time that we do it, I believe we should do that first pick
Hmm.
on air. So we do it at the end of a Revinyl episode,
Yeah.
and we do our 16, but we let the listeners know, hey, we're going to have this separate podcast, and we're working on what the final version, what the name is going to be in the logo, but we still want people to listen to Revinyl. We'll focus some on the whatever we're going to call it, bracket style. We'll focus on that, but we'll still come back to Revinyl. But we'll figure that out as we go and see what the appetite is, the feedback we get from listeners. But I think having a weekly going through those brackets will be really fun.
Yeah.
And it'll take us a while to get there, but we'll eventually get to the final fours and pitting those. And eventually we're going to have some really tough choices to make as we really dive deep into it. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah. A lot of fun.
Yeah. I know you have some stuff for me. I was gonna ask you though, two things that have been trending on, I'll call it social media on Instagram, that I think are fascinating right now. One is Oasis doing shows in the US.
Yeah.
I was flying back when we were in Nantucket this weekend. I didn't even realize it, but they were playing in, was it New Jersey this weekend? They were playing somewhere in the Northeast.
Okay.
And on the flight back, I started talking to the guy sitting behind me because he was wearing an Oasis hoodie. And I
Hmm.
said, "You must have gone to the show this weekend." He said, "Yeah." And he said it was just everything that you've seen online. It was incredible that the crowd was so into it. The
Awesome.
whole cigarettes and alcohol thing that's you've seen the UK fans doing with jumping up and down, and all of that was going on. And he said one of the best shows he's seen. And I knew
Fantastic.
it was going to be so much FOMO, man.
Yeah, that's it. It's so interesting. I need to keep up with the news more. I had no idea they were. So they started in the UK, right? And then they moved.
Right.
Yeah, I had no idea they were in the US at this point. They must have done a blitzkrieg of shows in the UK. That's cool. I would expect no less from them. I'm sure that they've sharpened their tools per se coming
Yeah.
into this whole thing. So they're professionals, even though they don't seem very professional towards one another.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great musicians, and you wouldn't expect anything less. That's why they're icons.
That was his other observation, was that they seem to be having fun,
Right.
they being Liam and Noel.
Yeah.
That's good news. That's good news because what I would really hope is they're only doing a handful of shows in the US.
Right.
You and I didn't get a chance to go see them. They weren't even close enough to the South to even
Yeah.
you and I, we would have had, and not that I was opposed to it. I had I planned it better, I would have flown somewhere and seen them. But my hope is this goes really well. They'll make a ton of money, and that it goes so well that they want to go record an album. I want a new Oasis album with this new energy that they have. They
Hmm.
go do a record, and then they have something to tour for, and they come back and do a big US tour maybe in a year, or 12 to 18 months. That would be my wish.
Yeah, they don't have a bad album. I don't think people
No,
realize that beyond those first 2 classic albums, and despite what you think about Be Here Now, it's not a bad album. It's actually a
no.
really, really good album. It just wasn't Definitely Maybe and What's the Story, Morning Glory, but Dig Out Your Soul and what was it? Don't Believe the Truth or both. Their last 2 albums were both
Yeah,
excellent, excellent albums. So they have it in them. And if you listen, I had we do this shuffle thing, Kevin and I did, and he shared a song that was a BBC. It was a bonus track off of Noel Gallagher and the High Flying Birds, and it was just Noel with a guitar singing. This was probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It was stunning. I mean, it was beautiful. Absolutely. I told him,
yeah,
this is the biggest surprise to me because I've largely kind of ignored their post, Oasis output. It's
yeah,
excellent. So I know when they get together, it's like that magic that these bands have when the Robinson brothers get together, and it's just different from their side projects or is their primary project now. So yeah, I would love to hear a new album and see what they do considering the landscape of music has changed drastically. I want to see what they come up
yeah.
with.
Yeah, I think it would be what would be really cool is we've seen the death of the album, in my opinion, overall. It's
Mhm.
no surprise and no revelatory observation, but the death of the album occurred a while ago. But
Yep.
a band like that coming out with an album, it would be an event. More so than we've probably seen from any band, I think. I'm not saying everyone's gonna rush out the store and buy a physical copy, but I think an actual album release from them would
Yeah.
create a real buzz where people would actually be talking about an album versus a song.
I hate to say that because seems to be the only thing that brings a lot of people out anyway in mass, but that's a prime record store day candidate, kind of like what Taylor Swift did a couple of years ago when her album came out.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Like everybody had to have that album. The lines were definitely much larger. So
Yeah,
I would like to see that more on a regular basis and get people out on not that special of occasion, and that becomes the occasion. But yeah, you're
yeah,
right. I mean, they're the type of band that you don't want singles, you want an album.
that's right. Absolutely. One other thing that I saw just, being on vacation, having a little more time to go through social media stuff, I wanna talk about for just a minute. We've touched on it before, but I saw some videos, and I don't we keep it mostly positive on here, I believe, almost always. We've had a
Yeah.
few laughs along the way, but saw some videos of David Lee Roth's performances recently, Vince Neil, that's been around for a little while, but
Yeah.
there just comes a time where these legends just have to know when to hang it up, just like a baseball player, football player,
Yep.
and you just hate to see that as the thing that a lot of people are gonna remember because there are kids out there on social media that aren't that familiar with how amazing. I mean, there was a time when I said I thought David Lee Roth was the ultimate lead man, even above Robert Plant or Roger Daltrey or anyone, that he was the ultimate lead man, the way he prowled the stage. And he never had the greatest voice, but his energy on stage and just his swagger, and to see him now, it's just, and I hate that because there's gonna be young kids out there that's gonna be more of their memory of David Lee Roth unless they go do some research, or
Mhm.
Vince Neil. They're just, and it moves me to another quick thought on it. I saw Foreigner about 8 or 9 years ago maybe,
All right.
and they had Kelly Hansen as the lead singer, and it was a corporate event, and I thought, "Well, I'll go because it's corporate event and I'm already here," but
Right.
I'm not. I kind of went with my arms crossed, like, well, this is gonna, be interesting. It was actually really good, and I was standing there watching Kelly Hansen sing all the hits that night, and I thought, this is better because Lou
Yeah.
Graham at his age, in fairness to him, he can't do that anymore, and
Right.
Kelly Hansen can still. To me, that's more important, and that was the thing, in that Quiet Riot documentary, the Frankie Banali, amazing documentary. You've seen that, right? Now That
Fantastic.
We're Here, There's No Way Back. One
Mhm.
of the best documentaries I've ever seen, music or otherwise. But he just wanted to keep the band alive. That whole legend. And sometimes, a singer passes away or they don't want to do it anymore. But it's not all bad to bring in another lead singer and keep the thing going.
It's a debate for sure. I mean, on the flip side, and you're right, with somebody like David Lee Roth, I've seen that. It's bad. I've
It's bad.
seen some of the more I haven't seen anything recently, but I saw something 3 or 4 years ago. Even I think Bon Jovi had one where it was just earth-shatteringly bad, and I think he had
Mm.
polyps. I think I was watching a
Yeah.
video with, Justin Hawkins from The Darkness, who's man, if you don't know, I know people know, I believe in a thing called love. This guy has a classically trained, just amazing voice, and he
Yeah.
said, "Look, we have bad days, we have" he goes, this is not normal." Yeah, this
Yeah.
he needs to repair his voice. On the flip side, Kevin and I just saw Alice Cooper, and we're talking Alice's mid late 70s, 75, 76. Now,
Yeah.
completely different style of vocals, right? But he figured it out a long time ago. I've seen him twice now. Saw him open up for Iron Maiden, and I saw him just it was just Alice Cooper. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal show. Just excellent stageman, but he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses. And it's a stage performance. It's as much about like
Yeah.
his guitarist, Nita Strauss, is amazing. That whole band is amazing. His drummer is probably one of the best drummers out there in rock and roll. Just incredible performance. I'm sure when he gets to the point where it's like, all right, I'm to the point where I mean, I can't even stand up for extended periods. You just got to know when to say it's okay to move on. Now, this is something that Kevin and I have debated many, many times about once it no longer becomes the band, I think maybe find another musical outlet, maybe do a power group or something or a super group.
Yeah.
When you keep that, we'll call it a corporation, we'll call it an entity, an LLC. When you keep that live and it's no longer the original foundation, it just doesn't seem right. I agree. Kelly Hansen is fantastic, has been fantastic with the band. We talked about Journey before. That new
Yeah.
singer is amazing. But it's,
Yeah.
when you have one member of the band and it's the drummer, like Frankie, it's really tough to say that's Quiet Riot. So
Yeah.
it's a double-edged sword for sure. And I do agree it was probably better to see Foreigner with Kelly Hansen, but at the same token, when does it no longer become Foreigner and you're just kind of a Foreigner cover band?
Yeah. For me, it no longer is Foreigner when Mick Jones is out of the equation. He was
Right.
still an equal to Lou Gramm. For instance, I think Motley Crue, because you're not gonna get Mick Mars back,
No.
but I think Motley Crue with Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx could have another singer and still I'd be okay with that. I honestly
Yeah.
I don't even know, but the whoever that lead singer is for Dirty Honey, maybe. Somebody
He's
like that who's
fantastic.
young
Yeah.
and can just belt it out. I would honestly, right now, if you had to make a choice between seeing Motley Crue as they are right now or that guy singing with Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx under Motley Crue, which would you pick to go
Oh,
pay your money?
100% I would pick with the lead singer of Dirty Honey. I mean, there's a band
Yeah,
called Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons, and Phil Campbell played
yeah,
later iteration of um, Motorhead. Fantastic
yeah,
guitarist. His lead, see, it's his son. That's why hits the
mm,
name. It's his family.
yeah,
It's his sons, but the lead singer is like one of their best friends. I'm telling you, this guy, he's got it. He's got one of the
yeah,
best rock and roll voices out there. He knows how to do it. He goes, I still want to play, but I'm going to play with some youngins. And I'm not
yeah,
going to try to carry on the Motorhead name. I'm not going to try. It's me. I think I have enough credibility. I think like to me, Benali had enough of notoriety. He could have done something on his own. I get it. I totally get it. It is and we reserve the right to be hypocrites sometimes with certain bands. We're like, don't do that. And other bands were like,
yeah,
oh, go ahead and do that. So
yeah,
there's no right or wrong to it. It's just, it's tricky, but I, like you, hate to see somebody completely tarnish their reputation with 2 years when prior to that they had 30, 40, 50 years of legendary status. And that's what you're
yeah.
talking about with somebody like David Lee Roth. Don't tarnish that. Just
No, hang it up. You
Yep.
made a lot of money, you were super famous. Write a book, do a do a speaking tour, sign autographs. You're still the legend. I know we talked about this one time. Grace Slick decided, I can't do it anymore."
Right.
And she actually would go to the shows though, is what I heard. She'd be on the front row watching, and I forget who they had. I don't know if it was Grace Potter, someone like that that was singing for Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship,
Mhm.
past Grace Slick, but she still endorsed it, and I thought that was really cool.
That's
I
awesome.
would love to see more of that, yeah,
Yeah.
and especially in the hard rock arena. Fair? No, it's really unfair, but there's a shelf life with lead singers. Tommy Lee can probably play drums till he's 75 years old.
Absolutely.
Vince Neil cannot hit those notes till he's 75, he just can't, so
No.
carry that on. Because also you got the young people that have heard their dads and their uncles and people talk about how great Motley Crue is. They go to the show and they go, "Wow, I don't know about this," versus getting their socks blown off by some 25-year-old dude who loves Motley Crue and embraces the whole thing. So
Right.
anyway, that I just wanted to bring that up. I knew you and I would have a similar thought on that. We'll switch topics now. You want to put me on the hot seat?
Yeah, I've got a couple things for you. You ready?
I am so ready. I
All right.
love I love when the seat gets hot. Let's go.
All right, so there's a theme on both the rate it and the either or. So we'll start with rate it. Grand Funk Railroad. We're an American band.
3. It just that song I've never really loved it.
Okay. Um, Kevin's gonna have some stern words for you, but that's okay. Next up, War Lowrider.
4. I don't love it either. It just kind of it's cool, but maybe it's because it was overplayed. I just don't love that song.
Okay. Mountain Mississippi Queen.
That's an 8 because that is some badass guitar and drums and vocals. Leslie West.
I do know the rating of the next one, and yes, you can exceed 10. You know that. Def Leppard, Rock of Ages.
Yeah, that 11 in tribute to Spinal Tap, let's turn it up to 11. Heck yeah, all day long.
Guns N' Roses, Night Train.
Oh my gosh, 11. I love you could say Guns N' Roses, any song on Appetite for Destruction, and I'm probably gonna say lowest would be a 9 on that
Yeah.
entire album, but yeah, Night Train's a killer song.
All right, little CCR, Born on the Bayou.
I love CCR, but I don't love that song. If I'm being fair, I'm going 5.5.
All right. Steelers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You.
Good song. What we got? Jerry Rafferty in that band,
Hmm.
and I like some of that stuff. It's a 5.5 for me as well, though. Not my
Interesting.
favorite song.
Interesting. Okay. Loverboy, Working for the Weekend.
I'm gonna give the rating that it deserves versus the I'm so burned out on that song because it was a great song when it came out. I'll go 7.5.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
love I love Loverboy. They
Yeah.
were amazing.
Yeah.
Mike Reno was
Right.
awesome.
Right there with you. Great band. Nazareth, Hair of the Dog.
That song, I didn't like that song even when I was younger. I've never they've got some really cool songs. That's a 4 for me.
Okay. Can you guess what that's 9? Can you guess what the number 10 option will be? There's a theme to all of these.
Let's
I'll give you a hint.
see. Okay.
I got a fever.
All right, Blue Oyster Cult. More cowbell. All right.
No, it's not Blue Oyster Cult. I that would be the
Oh.
most popular. It is cowbell. Cowbell. And
Oh, just cowbell in general.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because all those songs had a cowbell in it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Now that I think back, yeah, every song. And amazingly, you didn't use any songs from Too Fast for Love. Then that is
Right.
they could have renamed that album the Cowbell
The
Sessions.
cowboy recordings. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Tommy Lee on every song. Glunk, glunk, glunk. It either started that way or at the end of the solo or the bridge, there was a cowbell. Cowbell in general, I'm gonna go a 7 because cowbell in a rock song, I go 7. If it's at a sporting event, it's a negative 50.
Absolutely. There you go. I did mean that in a rock and roll context. So good
Yeah,
job.
I
Good job.
figured.
I agree. If it's done right, it could be as high as a 8 or 9, maybe even a 10.
Yeah,
But when it's not done right, eliminate it.
disaster.
All right. Here are your either or options. Here you go. Another theme here. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Talking Heads. Talking Heads 77 or Talking Heads more songs about buildings and food.
77.
Oh, okay. Talking
Yeah.
Heads 77 or Nick Lowe, Jesus of Cool.
I'm gonna go Nick Lowe. I love early Nick Lowe.
Me too. Nick Lowe, Jesus of Cool or The Cars, Candy-O.
Mm. I'm gonna go. Oh gosh, I'm gonna stick with Nick Lowe. It's
Okay.
tough.
That's a tough option. Okay. Nick Lowe, Jesus of Cool or The Sound from the Lion's Mouth.
The sound from the lion's mouth.
Okay.
It's not my favorite album by them, but I love the sound so much.
I do too.
Maybe they're one of the 5 most underrated bands, in my opinion, of all time. They were so good, and no one knows who they are.
They def-
It's
they're definitely up
absolutely
there for
criminal.
sure. All right.
Yeah.
The Sound from the Lion's Mouth or The Psychedelic Furs, Forever Now.
I'm gonna keep going with the sound.
Okay. The Sound from the Lion's Mouth or Echo and the Bunnymen, Porcupine.
Echo and the Bunnymen,
Okay.
Porcupine.
Echo and the Bunnymen, Porcupine, or The Smiths, self-titled album.
Oh, the Smiths self-titled album for sure. That's the easiest one so far.
Yeah. The Smiths self-titled album or Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain.
Oh, Sparkle in the Rain. I've cut you off before you even finish the sentence. We can end this right now because nothing. Okay.
I think we might. I think this is the furthest you've gone down the line. You're kind of wire to wire a lot of times. Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, or The Cure, Head on the Door.
Man, I love Head on the Door, but there's no way I'm replacing at this point Sparkle in the Rain. That Sparkle in the Rain is one of my favorite 80s records.
I love this. I love that album too. This one's going to be challenging for you. I think you. I know you love this album. I don't know how much. Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, or The Alarm, Strength.
Oh, man. Yeah. I do love The Alarm. I love Mike Peters.
Yep.
Rest in
Rest
peace.
in
What an
peace.
amazing artist.
Yep.
Got to see him live a few years ago doing sort of the Mike Peters Alarm traveling show at a very small venue. He told all the stories about his health challenges. And he was an amazing guy.
Absolutely.
I love him. I love The Alarm so much, but Sparkle in the Rain.
All right. Good job. That's it. Well
That's
done.
it? Wow.
Yep.
Okay, get off the hot seat there. That was good. That got me thinking. Almost every one of those had me really thinking. That was awesome. All right, I'm going to do, and I got to put on the readers here. We're going to take a time machine back, and we're going to go with 1975. It's hard to believe this 50 years ago. We're going to do the top 10 singles UK and US September of 1975. We usually do UK first. You want to stay with the UK first?
Yeah, I think that's the route to go. Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 10 UK single September 75. Wow. I got to figure out how to pronounce this. The song is called Heartbeat, but
Okay.
it's not Don Johnson. It's Showadadi Wadi.
Wow.
Shawadi Wadi. I'm sorry.
I would struggle with that too. Yeah. Not even
I'm
vaguely.
going I'm going to guess. I'm just going to take a guess. We need to go look afterwards. I'm going to guess that was part of the Shawn and craze. Maybe it just feels that name sounds kind of like a silly Shawn and type thing. We'll go check it out afterwards. Okay, number nine. Number nine.
Number 9?
I'm on fire. Not Bruce Springsteen, but a band called 5,000 Volts. I've never heard of them.
Wow. Back to back. Yeah, not familiar with them at all. Okay.
There's some more coming up. This is crazy. Number 8, That's the Way I Like It, Casey
Yeah,
and the Sunshine Band, yeah.
yeah. Don't like them, but that's
S
alright. I hate them.
Such an overplayed song. I mean, I can't even listen to that song, but when I was a kid, I thought that was a pretty cool song.
Yeah.
Alright, number 7, Can't Give You Anything But My Love by the Stylistics or
Yeah.
Stylistic.
Mhm.
Great band. I don't know that I know that song, but love Stylistics.
Yep. Agreed.
Num Number 6, A Child's Prayer by Hot Chocolate. Don't know it.
I know Hot Chocolate. I don't can't say I know that song. Oh.
Same here. This is just incredible. Number 5, Funky Moped slash Magic Roundabout by Jasper Carrot. Who are these people, Craig? I mean, Jasper Carrot, 5,000 votes, and Shawadi Wadi. I mean, I've never even heard of them.
This sounds like a list from the '60s and somebody took a lot of LSD. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, number 4, here we go. Summertime City by the legendary Mike Batt, B-A-T-T. Dude, I
That's,
mean,
at least
wow,
5 that we have 0 knowledge of.
unbelievable.
That's
Well,
tough.
number 11, if I'm skipping backwards for just a second, I was looking, is a song called Julianne by someone named Kenny, just Kenny. Not Kenny Smith, Kenny Jones, Kenny Johnson, just Kenny, as if he were Prince or, just Kenny.
And this is pre-South Park too, so that's impressive. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, it is clearly pre-internet. Could you imagine trying to search for an artist with just the name Kenny?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? Yeah.
It'd be yeah. All right, number 3. Oh, wow. Thankfully, a name I know. I don't know the song, though. The number 3 song, September of 1975, "Moonlighting" by Leo Sayer. I know Leo Sayer,
Oh, yeah.
not a big fan.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
like
I
some
like
Leo
him, but I'm
Sayer.
not
We,
yeah.
Kevin, I hate to keep mentioning Kevin, you're getting a lot of shout outs. He just bought a Leo Sayer record the other day, and my mom had a couple of Leo Sayer records back in the day, and I have, hold him in very high regard.
Yeah, "When I Need You," that was
Mhm.
"You Make Me Feel Like
Like
Dancing." Those are
dancing.
great songs.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, number 2. This is the wackiest. I don't know that we could go. We're gonna have to do this more often, so we can always refer back and go. Has there ever been a crazier list than the UK September of 1975 list? Number 2, "The Last Farewell" by Roger Whittaker. That was the number 2 song
Oh my
in the
gosh.
UK.
Really?
I
That wasn't originally released in '75, was it?
don't
I
know.
could be wrong. Hmm.
This is like an acid trip for sure.
It is for sure.
And number 1, this is a really cool song, but I can't imagine this ever have been a number 1 hit, but "Sailing" by Rod Stewart. I like that song. That
Oh,
seems like
yeah.
a weird song, though, to be number 1.
It is. I'm gonna venture to say there's only one song on this entire list, one song that stands a chance to get in the US. I don't think it will. Maybe, though. It was a big song, but, That's the Way I Like It from Casey and the Sunshine Band, I think is the only one that stands a chance to be in the US.
Well, you're sort of right, so let's move over to the US 1975, 50 years ago this month. Number 10, if you thought "That's the Way I Like It" was a bad song by Casey and the Sunshine Band, the number 10 hit in the US was "Get Down Tonight" by Casey and the Sunshine Band, an even worse song.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I
I
can't do it.
can't.
I can't do
I
it.
can't do it.
Mm-mm.
All right, number 9. I don't remember this song. I swear this is just crazy. "Run, Joey, Run" by David Geddes, Geddes. I've never even heard of him.
I feel
Who
like
the heck.
that's a song, "Run, Joey, Run." I feel like that's a song title I would know. I definitely don't know him. Yeah.
We need
Wow.
our we need our crack researcher Kevin when he hears this episode to go do, because he's gonna come back and he's gonna put in our group text each of those songs and his sort of assessment of it. I can see it already.
For sure.
Okay, number 8. I do love this song. "Wasted Days and Wasted Nights," Freddie Fender.
Oh, yeah. Great song. Great song.
Great song. I'm actually shocked it was a top 10 hit for, not, I mean, country is probably number 1. I'm shocked that it was a top 10 pop hit.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
love it.
Number 7, I love this song. "Fallen in Love," Hamilton, Joe Frank, and Reynolds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great sort of soft rock, yacht rock type tune. Love that song.
So interesting. This is 75 was such an interesting year. Yep.
Yeah, it gets better. Number 6, I've never heard of this song. "Could It Be Magic" by Barry Manilow. I'm struggling to think of that song.
I
I
don't
know some of his stuff,
yeah.
Copacabana and some of that, but don't know, I'm sure it's one of those songs if I heard it, I go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Number 5, another very famous, I don't know this song either. "I'm Sorry" slash "Calypso" by John Denver.
Um,
I know a dozen John Denver songs.
I don't
I don't
recall
think I
that
know
being
this.
on the greatest hits. My mom had that on 8 track actually. I don't recall
This
that
was a
being on there, but yeah, but yeah.
this was a miserable time for music. I'm
I
feeling
mean,
better about today's world.
I hate
Gosh,
to
they must
say
have
it, but
been,
it really is because there's a lot of yeah.
this
Proceed.
is so weird. Number 4, "Fight the Power" Part 1, Isley Brothers. I love Isley
Oh,
Brothers.
Isley's now there's some redemption right there. That's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Number 3, I know this artist. I will bet you I've never listened to a single song by her. At least I know I've never selected a song by her. "At 17" by Janice Ian. I have no idea what that song is.
I think I know more of Janice Ian now from my store days. I say now, but getting into store days than I ever did in the 70s. So I'm sure my mom was a fan, but yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, not my favorite song by him by any stretch, but still very solid, "Fame" by David Bowie. I like the song, I don't
Love
love
that.
it, it's not my favorite.
I actually
Do you?
I do love that song. He once again at that point reinvented himself, the king of reinventing himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have very fond of that song.
Because he'd gone from the Berlin years, this was his move into funk, right? He
Yeah.
got pretty funky with "Fame," which that alone's pretty cool.
Yep.
Alright, number 1. Oh my gosh, I love this guy so much. I actually love this song. I know it's a corny song in a way for a lot of people, but "Rhinestone Cowboy," Glenn Campbell, it just, it's one of those nostalgic tunes that I love.
Zero problems with that whatsoever. It should have been where it was. That was huge
Yeah,
at the time. I was surprised
huge.
there wasn't a little bit more. There was some really good country in
Yeah,
really throughout the entire 70s, but there was some really
yeah,
good country in the mid 70s.
absolutely.
Yep.
His version of "Southern Nights" is one of the greatest cover songs ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that song. Eddie Rabbitt, I'm a huge Eddie Rabbitt, 70s, before he got too sappy, I guess you would say, but his 70s stuff like Rocky Mountain Music and First Step or Step by Step,
Yeah.
those are great songs.
Great
Loved
song.
Eddie Rabbitt.
I
You're
like
right.
his cheesier stuff. I love A Rainy Night, and I like his
Oh,
popular stuff in the '80s too. He's
yeah.
one we were actually singing on the beach. I don't know, probably when I turned 50, and this couple walks by, and she's like, "There you go." She said, "This is what kids should be listening to these days." And I go,
Yeah.
we're not kids. We are
Yeah.
not young." So
Yeah, we're
yeah,
far beyond that.
right.
Yeah, Glenn Campbell, he doesn't get the credit
No,
from casual fans, but deep fans know because
right.
he was an amazing guitar player. He was playing on sessions throughout LA back in the 60s with Beach Boys, but he's probably uncredited on tons of records. I know he played with Frank Sinatra.
Mhm.
Frank Sinatra got really mad at him because he was, apparently Glenn Campbell was so excited. He was like 22, 23 years old, and he was just sitting in the studio with this big grin on his face, smiling at Sinatra. And Sinatra said something really crude that I won't repeat, but it kind of makes you sad when you hear that because Glenn Campbell was just so excited to be in the same room with Frank Sinatra, but Frank wasn't having any of that. He's like, "Why is this guy staring at me and smiling like a goofball?" You know, because if you look at Glenn Campbell, he was a pretty boy, right? And he had that big magnetic smile,
Yeah, those
and
chubby,
apparently he was just
shiny,
yeah,
shiny.
and
Yeah,
he couldn't stop grinning. He's like, "I'm so excited to be in the studio with Frank Sinatra,"
I
and
tell you,
Sinatra was just a
you gotta
crusty.
watch the crooners. You gotta watch them. Like, if you want to hear something funny, listen to the Nat King Cole box set and hear some of the outtakes. That man threw out the F bomb like you would
Oh,
know, and he had zero
yeah,
tolerance for if he's ready for that take, you better be ready for him to sing. You better be
yeah.
ready to hit the record button. And I think same thing. Sinatra was the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, they go, in today's version, they go Christian Bale on you. Have you seen that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Heard that audio recording where he loses his mind
Yep,
because the lighting
absolutely.
guy, like, walks behind the and I get it, I read some comments about it, and they're probably right, those actors, they are they're locked in, and somebody just does something, and then they may not recover for 2 days from that.
That's
Is so
hilarious.
locked in, but he probably took it a little too far. But yeah, those guys, you're right. Sinatra, Dean I bet Dean Martin could cuss up a blue streak if you
Absolutely.
made
I mean, even the jolliest of of the power, why am I drawing a blank of the Fab, not the Fab Four, but
oh,
in
the Rat Pack,
yeah, the Rat
well,
Pack.
Sammy Davis, he
Yeah,
was probably the nicest one.
right,
He
even
was
but,
probably
even
the
that's what I was gonna say, even the nicest, jolliest Sammy Davis Jr. probably had a threshold, and you did not wanna meet that threshold because, I mean, look
no.
who he was surrounded by, perfectionists.
Yeah,
He was a great, great singer, but, yeah, I
yeah.
was shocked when I heard I have some I was big into the crooners for a while, so I had all of the Sinatra box sets, the Reprise, the Capitol Years, I had all of it, Columbia, and, they they were stern. It's
Yeah,
funny to listen to because such a beautiful, majestic voice, and it's just yeah, sorry.
and then the take ends, and it's, F-bomb city.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. Alright, we wanna cap it off with some Uncut?
Yeah, why not? You wanna do 10?
Plow our way yeah, let's do 10. Let's do it. Let's and we will just fly through these. If it's a next, it's by gosh, it's a next, and we keep moving.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Well, what about 244?
I love it. The album is called Mexican R&B. The band is called The Stairs.
What on earth is happening today?
It I mean,
We are
the these Brits, man, and their music, it's awesome. I've never they were mod classicist in a time when most were grunging out or gazing at their shoes. It's an it's a delight with garage R&B gone haywire in a psychedelic fashion. I mean, maybe it's good.
that
It's
that sounds
it's a
interesting, actually.
it's weird. The cover's weird.
Okay.
Okay.
We might be in another Pram situation.
Yeah.
Red alert, red alert. Okay. 203.
203. Oh, dude, one of your favorites. 1992. Non such XTC.
Oh, yeah. What a great, great, great album. It's up there as one of my favorite XTC albums. This is post their punk years when they get a little bit more, a lot more, not theatrical, but just more eloquent and it just the band just became something completely different. Everything was much more lush, orchestrated, the very poetic in a very Shakespeare kind of a way. I mean, that was kind of, I think, where Partridge wanted to go in the first place. And to me, that's the album. The album that followed the big one, Skylarking, was Orange and Lemons, and I love that album too. But to me, None Such was them getting less poppy and getting even more into a theme like War Dance, and that album to me is one of my favorite. I'd say that's probably maybe my second or third favorite, probably my second favorite XTC album. Just brilliant.
I love that we do this because I'm not I won't even pretend I don't know much about XTC, and I need to know more about them because I like skylarking, but I need to go back and listen to those records. But they were, for those that don't know, and then we'll move on. But they were e- the epitome of a British band in
Oh,
the
absolutely.
80s and 90s. They're very British. Okay, fill in the blank here. Top three songs that people would know by them. One, I'll go two. You give me the third one. Dear God,
Mhm.
since is working overtime, what would be the 3rd song that maybe people have heard before?
Ballad of Peter
Mhm.
Pumpkin.
Okay,
Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead from, Orange and Lemons for sure. It would
okay,
be a big one. Since it's working overtime would definitely be up there. I'm trying to think of something from an earlier album. Really, it's mainly stuff from Skylarking and beyond, but there are some earlier singles too. I'm trying to think of stuff that would be off of like English Settlement or even
okay,
Black Sea. I mean, they were a straight up kind of frenetic punk band. Their first two albums,
yeah,
they put out Drums and Wires, and same thing. It was punk, definitely more new wave, very very explorative. Like they did a lot, they challenged a lot, and then they got to the point where it's like, we're kind of tired of making noise, let's make stuff that's just so baroque and so just huge sounding, almost incorporating classical music with new wave, and it just
yeah.
so good. And I love
All
all of
right,
it, I really do.
I need to listen to more. I love the Left Bank. If I love the Left Bank, am I gonna like that later
You will
stuff
like a
by
lot of it. I
XTC?
think if you love Left Bank, you'll really like more of like Dukes of Stratospheres when they took on an alter ego and said, "All right, now we're gonna do Sid Barrett era Pink Floyd and get
Okay,
super psychedelic." That to me is a little bit more Left Bank. They don't stay too psychedelic in most aspects. They can bring that into it, but yeah, every album's a journey, and that's what I love about them. I love Black Sea was my introduction, and since that point forward, every single album to me is a must own. Love them. All right, so I
all
rambled a
right.
little too much on that one,
No,
but
that's good.
what about how many have we done? Two or three? We've done three,
2.
two.
Wait, yeah, 2.
Okay, let's do 163.
Oh, this is a good album. I haven't listened to this in a long time, though. Neil Young, Harvest Moon. It's a
Yeah,
very relaxing record. It was a very enjoyable record. It's not one that I revisit much, but when it came out, I bought it, listened to it, liked it.
yep.
Didn't go back to it a lot though, but I love Neil Young, and this was kind of quintessential. It was almost like going back to a modernized version at that time of Harvest and some of those records, the more laid back records.
He had two different sides. He had the ragged glory, the just in your face,
Yeah.
kind of just super distorted, and he had this. And I like them both, but I think on a Sunday morning, this is what I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. All right.
All right. What about one? Let's do 170.
This is a band that I've tried to listen to before. I just can't get into it, and I'm never probably gonna go back to it. The Handsome Family, the album's called Through the Trees. It's
Mm-mm.
kind of in that they remind me of Leonard Cohen and all that stuff that I just never really could get into that much. And maybe there's another band I'm struggling to think of right now that the UK press loves, but I never could really grasp the Handsome Family.
Maybe like Tender Sticks. Is that maybe somebody you're thinking of?
Oh, it's there's another band, I'll think of it because they're in this list somewhere. But yeah, that kind of music, it's just not my cup of tea. It's a little too Mountain Goats, maybe that kind of it's
Oh,
just that
I
stripped
can't
down.
say I remember Handsome Family. I know the name for sure, and they've always been critically acclaimed, but I don't know if I've ever really dove into an album, so I can't say one way or the other.
Alt country Southern Gothic myth. Yeah,
Oh,
it's not my thing. Okay.
all right.
All
Maybe
right.
we can redeem ourselves with 139.
So this is our fifth selection. Oh, here you go. You know this one way better than me. Tortoise, album is TNT.
Good, really, really good album. I will be honest, I've never fully embraced, and this is coming from a big Sea and Cake fan, the tie-in being John McIntyre. The drummer is in both bands, both very, very influential Chicago artists. I like that album. I do. I like TNT, and there's another one that they released around the same time frame to me are their two best albums personally. But I also don't. I prefer the pop element of what Sea and Cake does. It's a lot more melodic. But if you like percussion and you like experimentation and to be challenged, you will enjoy Tortoise for sure.
All right. So we've gone through 5. We've done Tortoise, Neil Young, XTC, The Stairs, and The Handsome Family. So
All right.
what you got?
Let's do some rocking here in a good way. It doesn't have to be rock, but let's cut through some stuff here. What about 104?
Oh, yeah. Buena Vista Social Club.
Oh,
I haven't listened to it in years, but when it came out, I was really intrigued by it and thought it was pretty cool. Different.
phenomenal.
Cuban.
Nobody was doing this
Yeah.
music. This is kind of something that's right up. I bet at the time Kevin wasn't into it, but this is something that's right in his wheelhouse now of
Yeah.
it's Cubano. It's like he loves world music, which is so I hate using that term, but he's like, you know what? It is what it is. But at the same token, there's that Cuban feel to it that just feels like you're kind of in Havana at the peak of like
Yeah.
you're listening to what would be on the radio station at the time, but it's done so well that it transport
Yeah.
even you ever had a glimpse of something, you hear something, you're like, even though I never really truly lived that, I'm going there. That's kind of what this it was for me. It's like I've never been there, but I feel like I'm just on the streets roaming
Yeah.
around with the locals. It's really cool. I like it
Yeah.
better
And it's one of
probably
the
now than I did when it was released.
Yeah, it's one of those records that you could put on right now, and it would just be great to have on in the background, just listening to
Yep.
100%. And I need to do that soon because it's been a long time. Okay, got 4 more.
All right, I'm going back. Flip some pages. I see some gaps, so this could be a risk, but I'm going to take it. What about 241? Apologize to the listeners in advance.
Yeah. Well, love this band. I don't know this record, but it's Prefab Sprout, Andromeda Heights.
Yeah,
I don't know this record, but I love Prefab Sprout. But this is I listened to the early stuff. This is a later album.
yeah, it's good. It's a good album. I don't think it's obviously not their peak. I'm surprised they made the list for sure. But it's the Brits, so I'm not really surprised that
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's really good. It's just if you came in with more the mid '80s stuff, you probably won't
Yeah.
connect with this as much, but it's a good album.
All right.
All
Okay,
right,
3 more.
3 more. What about where do I see a gap here we gotta cover? What about 73?
Boards of Canada, music has the right to children. I have a no comment and a next for me, but
Dude,
Craig?
you have to check it out. It's really, really good electronic. You wanna talk about Tycho?
Yeah.
Tycho was very, very influenced by Boards of Canada.
Okay. That's all you need to say to me and
Excellent.
hopefully listeners as well. All
You
right.
you would really like you throw that on in the background and you'll be very happy. It's blissful. It's kind of got a little bit of a dream pop vibe to it. It's definitely electronic. It's definitely experimental, but it never gets overly noisy. And there's just this, it's like a it's early chill, early dream pop. Good stuff.
Awesome. I'm all in on that. Okay. 2
All
more.
right. What about, let's see. Ooh, I got 3 in a row here. What about 47?
Oh man. Well, we talked about it earlier. We could do an entire episode on this album. I can't even believe that it's 47 though. Oasis, Definitely Maybe.
Ooh,
How's that 47?
for them especially.
Yeah, for a
Gee.
UK rock magazine talking about I would think 47 if they were saying the greatest albums of all time, maybe. And
Yeah.
I think even that would be pushing it. If I'm in the UK, Definitely Maybe is one of the greatest records ever. I mean, it is for me, and I
I'm
don't live in
giving
the UK.
Uncut a little bit of props here for not going for the canned, everybody loves Oasis type vibe, even though I gotta say that's my favorite. I know it's their debut and it's extremely hipster of me and elitist of me to say my favorite album from them. When it first came out, I'll be honest with you, I was disappointed because I wanted everything to be like supersonic. I wanted everything to be heavy. I didn't want any of the Beatles stuff. I just wanted it gritty. And now, once the dust had settled and I got through What's the Story, Morning Glory, and Be Here Now, I went back to listen to Definitely Maybe, and I go, ooh, yeah, I think it's my favorite. I don't think it's their best. I think What's the Story, Morning Glory is their best, but I think my favorite album from them is Definitely Maybe.
It begins with one of I think live it's my favorite. Well, I don't think it is my favorite song by them, Rock and Roll Star. That's
Yeah.
how the album kicks off. Shaker Maker, Live Forever, Columbia, Supersonic, Cigarettes and Alcohol. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's like a greatest hits album. I'm
Slide
actually shocked
Away.
that oh yeah.
Slide Away. I love that song so much.
The whole damn album is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm you say props to Uncut, I say give me a break, Uncut. How could you do that?
You just expect, I think Uncut, I mean, look, Pram has been on here several times, so they
Yeah,
obviously like to challenge themselves. Maybe that wasn't as challenging enough for album for him. I don't
maybe not.
know. Okay,
All
here we
right.
go. We're going deep. What about 13?
Okay, and I think I already know what this is because I think I just passed it. This is to me one of the 5 best albums of the decade, and I thought it was actually 1989, but it was 91. That's weird to me. I could show you this page because it's the only thing on this album. Number 13, I only need to show you the album
Oh
cover.
my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Teenage
Check
Fan
it out.
Club, bandwagon-esque, it's one of the greatest albums ever, in my opinion. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's easily in my top 25 all time.
Mhm.
Every song. There's not a bad song on the album.
It's brilliant. That album to
Brilliant.
me, that followed by Grand Prix, followed by 13. Those 3 albums, oh my gosh. I did a shuffle recently, schizophrenic shuffle, and one of the songs from 13 came on, and Kevin's like, I don't listen to them enough. He goes, the only album I listen to is Bandwagon-esque. And I didn't say anything of it at the time, but I was like, you're kind of doing Bandwagon-esque a disservice because you're playing it too much. You need to now. I think Grand Prix is fantastic. I think 13 is fantastic. Are they bandwagon esque? No, but I think that to me was a band that was putting out like pristine power pop, but in such a alternative way that it could fit with people that love Big Star and it could fit with people that love Super Drag or it could fit with people that loved just from the classic stuff to the more
Mhm.
modern 90s stuff. So I love that band, and that was one of the first albums on my list of when I started collecting vinyl and getting deep into
Yeah.
vinyl in the mid, not aughts, but probably around 2015 or so. That was one of the first albums that was on my list. I have to own this. So,
Same for me. When it came out, and I always equate it with at the same time I was in this huge discovery period. Pixies were new at that time for me. I think Doolittle around that time for me, 1991 timeframe. Stone Roses, bandwagon-esque. And I'll just say this, for anyone that doesn't know Teenage Fan Club, for me personally, the song Star Sign off of that album. And you gotta there's a long intro to that song, even
yep.
if you can't really take the intro. Fast forward to the song, it's the most perfect power pop song. It's the perfect blend of noisy guitars and amazing harmonies and melody, because there's both are perfect there. The melody's perfect, the harmonies, but you could do a run of I was looking at here, 5-song run starting with December. You go December, What You Do to Me, I
That's
Don't Know, Star
yeah,
Sign, and Metal Baby. I
and
mean, if and if you don't like that, just don't even ever
stop.
go back and listen to Change.
Yeah,
Don't
just
waste your
stop
time.
and don't waste your time with their music, honestly.
No,
Maybe their
move
latter day
on.
stuff because it's a lot more streamlined. I mean, you softened over the years. That's what's cool about
Yeah,
them. What You Do to Me was one of those songs where it's like it starts off with these just beautiful, beautiful kind of Boys-esque type vocals, and then just the distortion, da, 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 just that there was never a band. I don't know of another power pop band that quite sounded like them, and that's what was cool to them. And they somehow managed to sound British and American at the same time. How do you do that? But they did it.
yeah, I agree. They did. They sounded like the best of they were Beatles, Badfinger, Big Star,
Mhm.
Cheap Trick with a little more guitar all rolled into one. It
Yep.
it was so perfect for this album to me is just the perfect combination of all those things. Yeah, we could go on for
This is
days. All
what
right.
we should petition for. There's all these cover bands, Sean. There's and I say cover bands,
Yeah,
tribute bands.
tribute. Yeah,
Tribute bands. There needs to be a tribute band dedicated to this era of teenage, and they need to
yeah,
call themselves Bandwagon-esque.
yeah. Oh my gosh,
I
that would
would
be
go
incredible.
see
They could
that.
do
I don't like tribute bands, but I would go see that tomorrow.
yeah. Yeah, they could do Stone Roses, Oasis,
Yep,
Teenage Fan Club. They could do all of that stuff and people Blur. Oh
yep.
my gosh, it would be yeah, I would go see that in a heartbeat. All right. Well, it does remind me of a quote I saw the other day. Was it Liam that said, maybe it was Noel, I forget which, but he was being interviewed about music and how it's changed. And he said, back in the day, and it's funny because now he talks glowingly a bit more about Blur because he now pulls it all together. He's like, back
Yep,
in the day when it was Oasis and Stone Roses and Primal Scream and Blur, and he said, we were all doing drugs and drinking every day. And he said, now you put these guys on stage and just tell them what to do, and they do it. But he says it in a way with a lot of profanity
yeah.
and sneering arrogance that's so funny. I mean, he is not afraid to insult
Ah,
any artist.
yeah, I think Noel's awesome. Liam's
Yeah.
just snotty and but
Oh, yeah.
Noel's just honest. And I actually
Yeah.
really, really, really like Noel. And I sent you guys a snippet. I sent you and Kevin a snippet of a write up, and he said something about Graham Coxon, the lead guitarist for Blur, and he called him brilliant. He goes, "That guy's
Yeah.
brilliant." And I thought,
Yeah.
"Thank you," because they did. There was no bigger rivalry in the UK other than those two bands. But I love the
Yep.
fact that they can just over time go, it is what it is. They're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that much different than Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They were rivals when they played against each other,
Right.
and now that they've retired and grown up and lost a little bit of that young competitive thing, now they can be friends.
Yeah.
And I feel that's maybe who knows? What if someday Oasis and Blur do a tour together? That would be pretty cool.
That would be amazing.
You would fly to Iceland to see that show.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like,
I'd
that
I'd go
that
with
to
you.
me would be that would be
Mm,
the dream show to me because, for one, it's 2 of my favorite bands, or
yeah.
what yes, 2 of my favorite bands, I'll be honest, and I would just love to see them embrace each other. I'm kind of a kumbaya guy, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I
You
love
want a
it when
happy
I love it when
story.
people
You
can mend
want
fences, you know?
Uh-huh.
I would love
Yeah.
nothing more for them to get on stage and just hug it out and go, "This is the best tour we've ever had. I could die a happy man."
It would be like the ending to Love Actually. There'd be God only knows to be playing in the background, and they're up on stage hugging each other. I mean, that's how it ends. I love
Love
it.
it. That would be so much fun.
Alright, well, that would be. Alright, we'll wrap up here. We will come back next week, probably talk a little bit more about the new podcast as well. So excited about that, and we'll by then probably have some of the details fleshed out. Can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Craig, see you next week. Well,
All
I'll
right.
see you before then, but yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a great one.